Well, good morning. Welcome in, everybody. This is Dr. Luis Ramirez, and welcome to Rising from Your Ashes. I hope that you guys have been enjoying thus far some of the stuff that have been provided. I know that this past Friday, provided you guys with the first official segment podcast and some short videos as well when we were discussing finding yourself after you've lost yourself. You saw one of my guest speakers, KK, come in and talk about a variety of different things as we were nearing, Mother's Days. That is today. Happy Mother's Day to all those you guys listening, by the way. But as you saw when we were talking, not only did this individual found herself after she lost herself, but talking about more so in regards to the topic of when we are given different responsibilities or titles within our relationships or within society itself, how easy it is to be able to lose ourselves, right? Either you already have lost yourself because of what you've experienced in life in general when it came to like either traumatic experiences, if you were physically, emotionally, verbally, psychologically, or sexually abused growing up. If you grew up in a home without either other parent, or if you grew up in a home where domestic violence was constantly happening, there's a variety of different things that take place in our life that creates the sense of losing yourself, right? And thank you so much for all the love and appreciation that you guys have shown thus far, especially with that first segment that was created on Friday. I appreciate you guys so much. Um, I also wanted to come in today to just continue more so around the same segment line of what we were discussing, right? So for today is more so talking about accepting yourself and what that looks like, right? Either you didn't accept yourself in the beginning when you started to grow. May have been that you didn't have a sense of identity, you were bullied in school, or you were told by your parents, family members, friends that you weren't worth it, and you grew into that. Or let's say that you were confident in who you were and you did accept yourself, but then you go through a betrayal with a friend, or you go through betrayal with a family member, or you go through a divorce, right? That one for me is very unique. When that happens, the things that are said at times allows for you to stop accepting who you are, because you start to feel that either you're no longer worthy, or you feel as if um, something must have gone wrong that you did that caused the betrayal or the demise of said relationship to take place. And I'm here to tell you otherwise. Okay. Um, so, welcome in. Let's have some fun. Let's talk about these topics. So, thank you so much, guys, for being here with me on this lovely Sunday afternoon. I am so grateful to be able to be given this kind of platform to be able to come up here and provide you guys with additional insight, feedback, recommendations, and segment in regards to what it is you might be going through. I know that there are times in which we tend to have questions that we don't want to ask. I've known this very well. Like I know that when I was in school, I used to love being able to talk all the time and answer questions because I knew that there were classmates of mine that had questions that they didn't want to ask because they feel embarrassed, right? So that's why I'm here. So let me go ahead and start off by I want to read something real quick. This is a portion of my upcoming book coming out this year, The Arsonist Within the Relationship, You or Me. It has to do with relationships, not just intimate ones, but relationships in general, and how these relationships tend to allow for us to lose ourselves and feel unworthy, and then us finding a way to come back and pull ourselves together. And it's not just pulling ourselves together in the process, but also learning to accept that who we are authentically is the most important portion of everything. So let's start off, okay? So I start off by talking about the following. So, as a doctor and as a psychotherapist, I've seen the best and worst of people in relationships. Um, some clients, they tend to, break down in front of me. I've had those be brought to me because of the situations come back to life by their beautiful emotions that someone let them experience until things fell apart. I held clients' hands. at times help them as they navigated their own way out of a relationship, be it intimate, personal, familial, work related. As they're as they were going through this, I was there through the confusion, the fear, and the loss of it all. So at the end of the day, when this happens, when a relationship breaks down, it's a significant loss. It's like grieving the death of a loved one. And that one to me is very unique to me this week. I will say this out loud. I just recently experienced a death in my family. A really close friend, a cousin of mine, passed away of cancer this past Wednesday, and that was very hard. And here we are on Mother's Day, where her kids now are suffering because they're not able to celebrate with their mother another Mother's Day, right? And that brings its own different level of just confusion and fear and guilt and shame, you name it, right? That's a complete different avenue that we'll touch base later on. So, as a member of society with family and friends, I've seen those closest to me be burned, get hurt, and fall apart. Um, I saw their pain up close and had to suffer the consequences alongside with them at times. Have you experienced that? Have you found yourself in those type of situations? Like, please leave those questions in here. Comment on this segment right now if you feel that this is something that has resonated with you thus far. So for me, uh, at the age of 36, I was tired after I went through my divorce. Okay. As a man, as a human being with emotions, and yes, a sensitive one at that. I'll be honest about that. I'll tell you that right now. I am extremely sensitive. I am a Pisces. Deal with it. This is what we're here for. You know? Um, and I was once so willing to give my love away. I understand the pain and disappointment, the anger, the frustration, the surrender, the accusation of the other, and the self blame. Because I was made to believe in that moment when the divorce was going through that I was the issue 100%. And I sat with that for a long time. I couldn't understand how I allowed for somebody to really make me believe that I was 100% at fault when in reality it takes two to tango. And that was hard. Okay. So a lot of people think that at times, clinical professionals have their lives together, that we have our emotions constantly under control. Yeah, no, not really. Let me go ahead and do another one of these for a second, because we don't. It doesn't matter how much education we have. It doesn't matter how good we are, what we do, how many years of experience we have. Just because I'm a professional, I'm a doctor, does not mean that I have my emotions intact all the time, right? Or under control. People have this notion that because I'm a doctor, that I need to know exactly what to say in every situation, that I need to know how to direct every single conversation to my benefit, that that we are so good at this that we are basically mind readers. I wish I was. Trust. I wish I was, but that's not the case. And that's where things begin to hurt the most at divorce. And that's why I started to like feel as if I was going through the entireness of the imposter syndrome. I couldn't accept myself for who I was because of the words that were utilized. At the end, my ex husband, on the way out the door, said the following word to me: I have found you repulsive for the last year and a half because of who I was, my authenticity, my androgyny, my eccentricness as a gay man. And I'm proud, okay? That word, repulsive, was like beyond a gut punch. I felt like I was stabbed and like left there to just bleed out. If you feel this way, please comment. Talk to me about that. Leave some comments. Let's talk about that for a little bit more. And if you want to know more about this type of topic, when that starts to happen, please comment or do a hashtag more serious relationship topics, and I'll be more than happy to bring this to you. Um, I'm okay with that. So when I was married, I felt that things were going well, right? Because I wasn't bringing about the things that I experienced at home. I grew up in a home that a lot of domestic violence took place, both physically and emotionally. And I felt that because I wasn't doing those things in my relationship, in my marriage was perfect. And I then had to accept, going back to the topic at hand, I had to accept at the end that I too had a stake in the demise of the marriage. But at first, I allowed for this person to make me believe that I was 100% at fault, and I accepted that narrative. It was through work that I had to then go ahead and realize that it was both sides. Hence, why we're here today discussing this. So, you know, I have spent my whole life in the last 14 years or so observing people, learning about them, uh, and I've specialized in like their psychology, their emotions. My life could have gone down a very dark path before I became a clinician, but I pulled myself together and put my life in order. So I thought, and then we enter the battlefield. Yes, hold for suspense. I learned about my emotions, found healthy ways to explore them, and let myself express them before I got married and got in a relationship. I grew. I learned to accept and love myself. And then I allowed for an organ that is designed to just simply keep you alive and pump blood into your body, to blind me in such a way that I forgot who I was completely. And I began to accept that particular narrative of myself. And I felt that still, that because I wasn't doing the things that I saw growing up, that everything was good. And it wasn't, right? And that right there was the problem. I didn't want to see beyond that. I didn't want to realize that I was contributing in a way to the demise. But because the other person didn't know how to communicate. How many of you guys find yourself in situations right now that nobody knows how to communicate and express their feelings the right way? Raise your hands. Let me know. Comment down. For those of you guys who are joining me right now, as we are 14 minutes in this segment, like I said, welcome. This is Rising from Your Ashes with Dr. Luis Ramirez. I am a diagnostic and trauma specialist here in the upstate New York area. This is a very safe space where we can come together and discuss difficult topics that nobody else wants to discuss. All right. I bring authenticity, rawness, and humanist when speaking to you guys this way. Okay. Because I'm not going to hide behind the profession. I'm not going to hide behind perfection because there's no such thing. I'm not perfect. I wish I was, but that's not the case. Okay. So, welcome in. Please share, tap, like, comment the link, and subscribe, please, if you guys are finding this information thus far helpful. Okay. Um, I promise you guys a lot of content will be coming, things that we can be discussing together as to what it is to be human. Right. So let's continue. Let's keep talking about this. Right. I've shared with you guys, I've had people from all walks of life in my office, and no matter what their situation is or was, or what brought them to me, I find a way to connect with them. That's my number one priority, right? I tell my patients all the time, they get the utmost respect from me. That's my philosophy. They will always have, from me, ideas to share, open mind, ears to listen, and a heart that truly does care. I love what I do. right? I've had clients who were forced to sit in front of me and didn't even want to be there or share parts of themselves with a stranger, or they didn't want to get there and discuss the logistics of what was really going on, how much pain they've been, and it still happens today. But there have been times in which they're there, and then out of a couple of times of us working together, this person then says to me, "Wow, Dr. Ramirez, I don't know what it is that you did or said to me, but I'm over here. I don't know why I'm sharing this information, right?" And that, in a way, in the beginning, got to me. I felt like I was like on cloud nine. But the Lord Almighty on top said, "Let me bring you down from that cloud, buddy. You don't belong there, right?" So here I am. I have a lot of experience in reading people. I know how to operate with people. I know how to talk to people. I know how to navigate body language and eye contact, and navigating the shame and the ambition and the guilt that people tend to have, right? And I'm good at what I do. I really am. I'm not saying that to be condescending or cocky, but I am good at what I do. But if all that is true in 2023, if all that was true in my life, if I was that good and allegedly my relationship was that good, right? How did we end up resenting each other? How did we end up getting a divorce? How did we end up burning our marriage to the ground? And which one of us did it? So if you would have asked him in the beginning when we first broke up, or asked me, let's say first, I would have said to you that it was him. That he burned everything between us, every memory, everything beautiful, every bridge of reconciliation. He was the shadow in the fire. He was the one that was clearly burning everything to the ground. If you asked him in the beginning, he would say to you that I did it, that I burned us, that I changed, that I was acting different, that I started the whole fire and wouldn't even let him put it out because he has this victim mentality for sure. Uh, and that's not me throwing shade, that's just me being honest. Uh, but if you ask me now, today, 2 years, almost 3 years later, after all this happened, and I've had to confront myself and reflect on the situation after having survived the fire, after having to put myself together in some distance between what was burned, and after learn to be honest with myself, I would say to you that it was a both. I'll be honest. Okay? We were both arsonists, burning everything we thought we wanted until we were left with just the wisdom. I use the word wisdom for a reason. With just the wisdom to ensure that it wouldn't be brought into the next relationship. That's something that I believe. Okay. So the purpose of this segment and the ones that are coming up this week, all right, is that if you're listening, if you've gotten divorced or about to, if your relationship is past repair, if you've had your heart broken, and you've sworn off relationships, if you've been burned, and you would rather just avoid any further sparks, if you're still confused about what went wrong or what's going wrong in your relationship, uh, if if you can forgive your partner or yourself, if you long for love but don't know how to get it, or if you no longer know what to expect or what to do, if you're desperately searching for a way out of pain and the will to love again, then these following segments are for you. So please hit that subscribe button right now and tune in for what is to come. This is the topic at hand that we're going to be discussing. Okay. I will tell you the truth. Okay. That's one of my philosophies as well. I'm not going to sugarcoat things for you or nothing like that. I will bring the shadow that is haunting you to the light. So you, not me, so you, the listener, can clearly see its face. I will then, on top of that, hold the mirror to your face. We role play detectives and retract the clues to figure out who the real arsonist, if it was you or them. Okay. But at the same time, I'm not only going to do that, I'm going to help you through this process so you can work on this together because you're not going to be fighting this alone. Okay. And we will figure out if you were burned by the person that you wrongfully trusted or your own hands. And that is going to hurt because you need to hold yourself accountable as well. And we will learn the lessons that will keep us from either horror in the future. So thank you so much, guys, today for joining me as we continue down this journey and this path together. Okay, I am so thrilled to continue to bring these to you. Like I said, if you like this content, please hit that subscribe button. All right, share this, comment what type of topics you guys want to hear moving forward. Let me know if there is a specific theme that you would like to see. How can we improve this together? Because my ultimate job here is to help you heal through this journey. You're not alone. But thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you so much for joining me today. Um, as I say goodbye and wrap it up, I would like to say one more time, welcome to Rising from Your Ashes Together in this healing journey. Again, my name is Dr. Luis Ramirez. I'm a diagnostic trauma specialist here in the Upton, New York area. And if you're feeling blessed and you're feeling touched by the segment today and the ones that have already been shared and the ones to come that you want to be more a part of, hit that subscribe button. I welcome you and I hope to see you again tomorrow. Bye, guys. Mwah.